Well, it's globally used, first of all, and second, that is an agreement which covers more or less all type of services, from feasibility to contract administration, even maintenance services, by consulting engineers, more or less. So it's a quite important contract form provided by FIDIC for the consulting engineers themselves, and unfortunately we need, or fortunately we need to discuss some improvements in order to better protect for the future the consulting engineers. Well, yes, there is a update task group as well, and there are some discussion regarding consultancy services, because we also are working on the design and build subcontract, which includes design services as well. So we do have an ongoing discussion on how to improve, and I'm pretty sure that we will have to discuss more clear risk allocation approaches, including particular clear claims, where consultants do have less problems to, let's say, prosecute particular entitlements for payments, as they do have it currently, because currently they simply have to rely on their bargaining power. And as you know, consulting engineers are pretty small compared to clients and contractors, so it's absolutely necessary, and that's, I believe, the most important point. First of all, we have to better make understood worldwide the whole range of services to be provided by DABs. We are on a good way. We are just come back from a tour to Asia, where JICA has now more or less completed the education of adjudicators, including the assessment. I've been a member of the panel there. And it was encouraging to see that people are ready to serve as an adjudicator. And second, that there is a market, because JICA has also visited all more or less who are involved, ministries, heads of procurement nationally, including the banks. And they were all quite happy with the initiative. So we are believing that in Asia, at least, we are now having a very new situation, because it's much more acceptable and accepted, in particular because JICA finances the boards. In other parts of the world, like Africa, it's already used, frequently used, and particularly in those parts where English is more or less a native language. It's properly used, and I think also the employers have now understood that they do have a benefit of it. So in Africa, it's even without that type of initiative already encouraging. Regarding Europe, well, that's a very split situation, because the English do have statutory education. That's a completely different thing. Across England or the UK, there's nothing, and we are really fighting hard to implement dispute education, particularly in the civil law countries. Though, of course, in the eastern part, where the banks are financing all the projects, that's much more easy than in Germany, Austria, France, etc. But I think, yeah, at the end, I think the industry has understood the benefits, and that they accept the overall approach, and that means the industry and the employers. Well, there's increasing interest in FIDIC in recent years. There's a better understanding. I think also that your, let's say, ambassadors, like the speakers, do a great job to promote from time to time, because it's an interesting meeting point for networking. I think that's one of the reasons. And also, of course, I think the increasing number of papers and articles in the International Construction Law Review are quite helpful to promote FIDIC, and that's, of course, more or less a holistic approach. The conference is, I guess, that helping people to understand and to study in depth So I think that it's not only one point, but I think there are a couple of interesting things which have been done in the past, including a broader number of speakers. In early years, I remember the speakers were always the same, 100%, and they have sometimes reproduced the same speech for 3 years. So that had been improved, absolutely. So I think, that makes a success, and you can now recommend the conferences to people in Germany, in Africa, wherever you come to. It's a good point to meet.